prepare for game 2 of the series. And let's check out the visiting Detroit Tigers starting 9, brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. Now, leading it off and in center field is Rajai Davis with Ian Kinsler at second base. Yoenis Cespedes in left field with Victor Martinez, the DH. It is J.D. Martinez in right field. Nick Castellanos at third base. Alex Avila at first base, bats seventh. James McCann catching the day game after the night game. And Jose Iglesias at shortstop, bats ninth. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Stephen Wright on the hill, 13th appearance, 6th start. 3-3 with a 4.84 earned run average. 27 strikeouts, 16 walks, and opponent sitting at 250 against Wright. Monday, in his last outing against the Angels, lasted 5 innings, giving up 6 runs, and did take the loss. Rajai Davis standing in and taking ball 1. First start of the series for Rajai Davis. In the start in center field today. Now Stephen Wright activated by the Red Sox with Dustin Pedroia going on the DL prior to the ball game, and that hamstring still bothering Dustin, and after back-to-back days off ends up back on the DL. High strike call has Davis looking back.
First time that Wright has ever faced the Detroit Tigers. He's been bouncing around up and down recently from the minor leagues to the big leagues.
And that last outing lasting 5 innings, gave up a career high 6 earned runs, and look at his numbers in the last 8 games here at home. That's in there for strike 2.
Comes in with the fastball, 83 miles an hour that time. Wright will change speeds with a knuckleball, a slow one, a harder one, plus the fastball.
Fly ball down the right field line. De Aza on the run, and he'll get there. Good backhanded catch, and what a long run for De Aza.
Now the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 9th in the American League with 56 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval at third base, and Bogarts the shortstop. Brock Holt at second. Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Alejandro De Aza. And Blake Swihart doing the catching for Stephen Wright.
Well, lots of sunshine there in the downtown area here in Boston. Lights are on. There's some clouds off to the left, but right now plenty of sunshine as standing in the former Texas Ranger, second baseman for the Tigers, Ian Kinsler. 289 with 5 homers and 44 runs batted in for Kinsler. In there for a strike, and it's a ball and a strike now to Kinsler. 5 straight multi-hit performances for Kinsler. A foul back to the screen. Kinsler 3 for 5 in the ball game here last night as Cespedes waits on deck. A triple, RBI, stolen base, and right now riding a 5-game hitting streak coming into today's game. And a swing and a miss, gets away from Swihart. He's going to have to throw out Kinsler, and he will without a problem. First strikeout of the day for Stephen Wright. Well, today's umpires are brought to you by Buick. Experience the new Buick lineup during this year's Sign and Drive. See your local Buick dealer today. Mike Everett has the plate. Tim Welke, the crew chief, at first. He'll be Basner at second base, and Tim Timmons, the umpire, at third. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenos late tardes, amigos.
Look at our weather gear out there in right field. 69 degrees. Breeze in from right at 13 miles per hour, and forecast mostly cloudy. Right now it is pretty sunny in the ballpark, and with 2 outs here is Cespedes. 288 average to start the day for the Tigers left fielder. 14 homers, 54 runs batted in. 0 for 4 in the ballgame last night. In the air to deep left field. That ball is back, and that ball is gone. A blast to left field for Yoenis Cespedes, his 15th home run of the year, and the Tigers jump out to a 1-0 lead.
Well, we know what kind of power Cespedes has. We got a chance to see some of that last year here with the Red Sox. Number 15 is not mentioned, and a no-doubter. That knuckleball really stayed flat up to home plate about belt high, and Cespedes up off the Advil sign.
'17th home run allowed in the last 9 games by Red Sox pitching. It has been a problem, and Cespedes with the most recent round tripper. As the Tigers on top of John Farrell's Red Sox 1-0 is Victor Martinez bats. DH at .261, 6 homers, 35 runs batted in. 0 for his last 9 at the plate, and he was 0 for 5 in the ball game here last night. So Stephen Wright giving up a home run after he'd gotten the first 2 outs of this first inning, and that'll get in there for a strike. 2-1.
They gave up 2 in his last outing against the Angels out on the West Coast. That was in 5 innings.
On the ground this time to Brock Holt at second base. That'll end the top of the first inning with the home run by Yoenis Cespedes has the Tigers on top 1-0. Tigers on top 1-0 thanks to the home run by Cespedes. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts leading it off and in center field with Brock Holt back at second base with Pedroia going on the DL. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop with David Ortiz, the DH. Hanley Ramirez in left field with Pablo Sandoval at third. Mike Napoli at first base bats seventh with Alejandro De Aza in right. And Blake Swihart doing the catching and batting ninth. Mookie Betts taking strike one from Alfredo Simon. Tigers pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. 19th start, 8-6 with a 4.63 earned run average. As Betts lines it back where it came from and into center field. Leadoff base hit for Mookie Betts to start the bottom of the first inning.
Now the Tigers defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They're third in the league with only 49 errors on the season. Nick Castellanos will be at third base. Jose Iglesias, the shortstop. Dan Kinsler at second. Alex Avila, the first baseman. Left to right, Yoenis Cespedes, Rajay Davis, and J.D. Martinez. And James McCann doing the catching for Simone.
Ringing single for Mookie Betts to get the day started here for the Red Sox offense. At Here is Brock Holt. Holt 1 for 4 in last night's game with an RBI. In there for strike one, a high strike to Brock Holt, who seeing a lot more time at second base now with Pedroia going back in the DL, the hamstring continuation problem that he has had, and Brock Holt back in there again today, batting second, playing at second. Throw to first, and diving back is Mookie Betts.
As we talked about in view from the booth for Pedroia, it's unfortunate that he has to go back on the DL, but those things they're very tough injuries, and they can hang around for a long time. And once you have a problem with one, you got to get it 100% before you come back. And clearly, Dustin was not at 100% coming back after the All-Star break.
Simone, an All-Star last year in 2014. Selected by manager Mike Matheny in the National League last year. Was acquired by the Tigers from the Cincinnati Reds. December of the offseason. Used in all different kinds of capacities. Has been a closer, now in the rotation currently for the Tigers as he checks on Betts.
Well, he's faced the Red Sox 8 times. He's had 2 starts, 6 relief appearances. His own one with a 5.79. You see the breakdown. A lot of split-fingered fastballs. That goes under the category of changeup.
Holt back to Simone. He'll go to second for 1, on to first for 2. Double play. And right back at Simone, and he's able to start the double play. 2 down.
And some tricky work at shortstop by Jose Iglesias as he gets out of the way of Mookie Betts, who was coming in hard at second base. Here's the throw by Simone. Now watch Iglesias come across the bag and then jump up over Mookie Betts to complete the double play. Good angle right there. You can see how high that Iglesias had to get not to get taken out by Betts.
Some fancy footwork there, too, to even get the bag there. At second base, get rid of it quickly. Nicely done. We've seen him do it over the years here in Boston, and now he's added offense to his game as well. And an all-star this year for the Tigers. First pitch swinging is Xander Bogaerts. Skies one to right. It's the Sun Field, and J.D. Martinez battles but makes the catch. It ends the inning. Done with 1. The Tigers have a 1-0 lead. at Fenway Park to celebrate baseball's newest National Baseball Hall of Famer and his soon-to-be retired number. All fans in attendance will receive a limited edition number 45 Fathead decal. Visit RedSox.com to buy your tickets today. And to the second inning we go. The Tigers on top 1-0. J.D. Martinez, who made the catch to finish off the bottom of the first inning, leads off the second inning. 27 home runs. 62 RBIs so far in the season. Home runs good for second in the league. He is fifth in RBIs with the 62 RBIs so far this year. Be followed by Nick Castellanos and Alex Avila here in the Tigers' second inning. Well, it's ball four down to first base. 4-pitch walk for J.D. Martinez. First walk given up by Wright. Well, it's time for today's twisted but true fact. The Tigers are looking to avoid going 3 games under 500 this late in the season for the first time since September 1st of 2010. Twisted tea is the hard iced tea. It tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Look at the numbers right now for the Tigers, falling to 47 and 49 with a loss here last night and losing their second straight extra inning contest, as they had lost in the finale of their homestand against the Mariners. And last night, Red Sox beat them. Nick Castellanos, the batter here, with a runner at first and nobody out. Castellanos 0 for 4 in last night's game. Right jumping ahead 0-2. Popped up foul off to the right, out of play. Going away, a ball and 2 strikes. First time that Stephen Wright has faced the Tigers in his career. And Castellanos' numbers over the last 25 games. But for Wright, his only win coming against the Angels back on May 23rd at Fenway Park as a starter. In the air to center, Mookie Betts over to left center now. And Mookie will put it away on the first out here of the second inning. Sunday, NESN presents Peerless Pedro from noon to 7:30. NESN will air Pedro's top NESN games featuring only the half innings that he pitched. Tune in Sunday from noon to 7:30 leading up to the Sox nationally televised game against the Tigers here at 8 p.m. from Fenway Park. There are the retired numbers, and of course Pedro's number 45 will be headed up there. Infield here as this one gets away from Swihart. They had been shifting. It glances off the glove of Swihart, and J.D. Martinez takes second base.
This will probably go as a pass ball, I would think, on Swihart, just to not make the catch on it. Not a lot of movement on that knuckleball, but gets by Swihart, and in a scoring position goes J.D. Martinez.
Red Sox still on the shift here on Avila, who gets a day off from catching, but starting at first base for the 4th time this year. The average under 200 for Avila. I think at 198, 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. You see the infield tight on the right side.
A couple of stints on a disabled list for Avila this season.
Tigers happy to have him up in this spot. 429 with runners in scoring position. And they'll drop in there for a strike.
The knuckleball there. That one acted like a curveball as it came back to the middle of the plate.
just away, and it's 2-2. 30 pitches so far here for Stephen Wright, an inning and a third. Give up the home run in the first to Cespedes. Leadoff walk, never a good thing, to J.D. Martinez, who took second on the pass ball. Castellanos flying out to center now. 2-2 to Avila, who strikes out. Ball gets a long way away from Swihart, though. And Avila will reach it first, as taking third is J.D. Martinez. Strikeout, and let's see what they rule it that allows Avila to reach, whether it be a wild pitch or a pass ball.
That happens so much with knuckleball pitches. You get the big out, and you see the late movement on that knuckleball really dipping down, and really not much Swihart could do about it. You pick up the strikeout, but then you look up and there's men at first and third now.
Wild pitch this time, charged to the pitcher Wright. Pass ball earlier in the inning, charged to Swihart. So first and third with one out. And James McCann coming up. First appearance of the series for the catcher. 289, 4 homers, 23 runs batted in. He does the catching, with Avila taking first base defensively today. That one almost got away. Swing and a miss, a ball and a strike.
A lot of pressure on Swihart behind the plate. You got to keep calling the knuckleball, of course, with the man at third base, but you've got to be able to somehow knock it down.
On the ground to third, picked by Sandoval from a knee to second for one, and no throw to first, as the run will score. In from third base comes J.D. Martinez, and the Tigers take a 2-0 lead.
Just a little bit of a bobble by Sandoval, but it looked like they still might have had time to turn it. So I wasn't quite sure if Holt at second base had a good grip on the baseball. Right to the hand of Sandoval. Now Holt comes across. Does he get a good? No, he didn't. He went into the glove, and he couldn't get a good grip on the baseball, and that's why he didn't throw it to first base. Right there on the transfer.
So McCann reaching on a fielder's choice, gets an RBI. Tigers lead it 2-0. And a ball getting away from Swihart, stopping at first. McCann, he'll retreat to the bag at first. Looked like he was going to try it.
Yeah, I don't think McCann could see where the ball was. He got a lot of activity there in front of the baseball, the catcher and even the hitter in that case. See where the ball goes on the knuckleball right here. And I don't think McCann read it right away, could see how far it was away from Swihart, so he didn't go.
Now Iglesias taking the strike. 324 average for the number 9 man in the Tigers order. 2 homers, 19 runs batted in for Iglesias. 1 for 4 in the ball game last night, had a double. There's a pop-up, foul ground. Swihart coming back, but won't have a play. Up onto the screen. Wind gave that a bit of a push as it is now blowing in. So Iglesias ranks right now among American League shortstops, just ahead of Xander Bogaerts in the batting average category. Alcides Escobar. Line to left, and Ramirez moves over to make the catch that ends the top of the second. Another run, though, for the Tigers. Detroit on top 2-0. moment all season long. Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary and their 98th game of the 75 season. Red Sox beat the Yankees 4-2. Carlton Fisk went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs for the Sox. David Ortiz, Hanley Ramirez, and Pablo Sandoval to bat in the inning, and Red Sox trailing 2-0. David Ortiz returning to the Red Sox lineup today and having last night off and dealing with the Tiger shift on the right side. 234, 17 homers, 47 runs driven in for Big Papi. Fly ball to left field. Cespedes going back onto the track, leaps and can't catch it. Off the bottom of the wall and by him, and Ortiz to second base with a double on a ball that I think Cespedes could have caught.
Yeah, I think he made a mistake on that, Don. Instead of busting back to the wall, he tried to glide back to the wall, and that ball was hit a little bit deeper than he anticipated. If he gets back to the wall quickly, he's going to make a play on this, but he's gliding after it right there, as you can see, jumps and can't make the play. Ortiz at second base with the leadoff double.
Second straight inning, the Red Sox have had the lead runner on. Last inning, Betts was erased on a double play. Now David stands at second for Hanley Ramirez. Hanley 263, 19 homers, 46 runs batted in. Jumping on that first pitch and fouling the fastball back. Ramirez last night 1 for 4. A 443 average against left-handed hitters, and Ortiz with a double here in this inning. Four-game hitting streak coming in for Hanley Ramirez. Leading the Red Sox in home runs and in slugging percentage. As he takes the strike and is quickly down 0-2.
Breaking ball that time. First one I think we've seen from Simone today.
Oh, 0-2 pitch running up and in on a fastball at 93. Well, today's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Alfredo Simon 8-6 with a 4.63 earned run average, has given up at least 4 runs in an AL high 6 consecutive starts. In that span, he's gone 1-3 with an ERA over 10 at 10.16. Red Sox hoping that trend continues today. And right now trailing 2-0, batting in the bottom of the second inning. Hanley fouls it off himself, but still in the box when he did.
That's a split-fingered fastball right there, 86 miles an hour, and a good job by Ramirez to foul that pitch off. So we've seen all 3 pitches now from Simone: the fastball, the breaking ball, and the splitter.
Look at the breakdown for Simone. Last 6 starts 1-3. The previous 6 3-2 with an ERA under 2. And trying to figure it out. He's given up a leadoff double to David Ortiz. Now a 1-2 pitch coming to Hanley Ramirez. High chopper up off the glove of Castellanos at third base. Ortiz being waved around. Cespedes got the great arm, and Ortiz is out at the plate. The first out of the inning comes at the plate as Ortiz is gunned down, and another outfield assist for Yoenis Cespedes.
Yeah, Butterfield upset with himself too after making this decision. He tries to score Ortiz with nobody out in the inning, and we all know the great arm that Cespedes has in the outfield. That ball tipping off the glove, slowing it down. Here's Ortiz coming around, and Cespedes with the great arm, one hop to McCann to get Ortiz. And Butterfield was very upset with himself after sending David Ortiz there. The tag clearly on David before he reaches home plate.
So Hanley Ramirez ends up at second base, one down in the inning. Here's Pablo Sandoval. And a ground ball to the right side. Kinsler throws out Sandoval as Ramirez takes third base, two down in the inning. So two down in the inning. And a base runner 90 feet away, and Hanley Ramirez from Mike Napoli. 206 for Napoli, 11 homers and 33 runs batted in, showing signs of life at the plate really in the second half of the season, and has hit safely now in each of his last 5 games, going 8 for 19 during that time at 421. Going to bring at least a run in here in the inning. Jumping on the first pitch, foul and back at a fastball that was above the belt.
Yeah, they wanted that fastball outside. Instead, it stayed up and in on Napoli. See the catch is set up away, but that ball goes up out of the strike zone. Napoli chases it to foul it off.
Up again, and it's a ball and a strike.
Shook off 3 different signs that time and eventually settled on a cut fastball.
Went through them all, he shook them all off.
Fastball in, fastball away, split, cutter. Try the split again.
Down and away and sprawling to his right is McCann. The base runner at third, and Hanley Ramirez with 2 outs here in the Red Sox second inning. And a runner gunned down at the plate, and David Ortiz in this inning, and now Simone trying to get out of the inning unscathed.
Back to the split.
Napoli takes it. It's at the top of the zone for strike 2.
Yeah, you generally don't see that type of pitch at the top of the strike zone. Usually it's down around the knees or lower. This one stays upstairs, and actually a pretty good pitch to hit. I think Napoli would like to have that one back.
Alejandro De Aza waiting on deck. There are 2 outs here in the second inning. Yanks that, and a great play by McCann to his right just to block it with his body.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive play by McCann right there. I don't know if you call this skill or luck. That ball bounces and just got the heel of his glove and up off his shoulder and keeps that runner at third base and Hanley Ramirez. See the smile? It might be a little luck involved there.
So a full count here with 2 down to Mike Napoli. 6th pitch of the at bat coming up. Napoli strikes out, and the Red Sox leave Ramirez at third base. We play 2. Tigers have a 2-0 lead. 2-0 Tigers have the lead as they come to bat here in the third inning. And the top of the order, speedster Rajai Davis hitting it off here for the Tigers. And Davis grounds one left side. Sandoval in on the grass. Throws out Davis for the first out of the third inning. One down here in the third inning brings up Ian Kinsler. Kinsler struck out swinging in the first inning. Former Texas Rangers second baseman and enjoying his stay now in Detroit. Second season for him as a member of the Tigers. He struck out swinging in the first. The only strikeout for Wright, as this one is tapped foul at the dish. Wright actually did get credit for another strikeout, but Avila reaching on what was called a pass ball. They changed the call from wild pitch to pass ball. Avila would not score. There's a check swing for Kinsler, and he went, said Tim Welke. 0-2 the count.
The 2 strikes. Mookie Betts in center field now moving over to the right side.
This is to the right side, sending De Aza back to make the catch for the second out of the third inning. Ace Ticket has great deals on the best seats to all the Red Sox games, as well as your tickets to Zach Brown and James Taylor at Fenway. Ace also has the best deals on tickets to all New England Patriots games. Visit aceticket.com. Ace Ticket, it's more than a ticket.
Mark Fidrich shirt here at Fenway Park. The Bird.
2 down in the third inning for Yoenis Cespedes. He played in your era, yes?
Yes.
Talked to the baseball.
It was unbelievable. He had an incredible year. I'm not exactly sure what year that was, but it was like magic. He was fun to watch pitch. Not fun to face, though.
On the ground to short. Bogarts to his right. And a good inning for Stephen Wright. His first 1-2-3 inning of his outing. Tigers have a 2-0 lead. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Back at Fenway Park, and the Rooster, Rick Burleson, your former double play combo with Jerry Remy, and good to see him at the ballpark here in the Legends Suite at Fenway Park.
Yeah, great to see Rooster back here. I talk about a guy that came to play every day. Wow.
Would he be a throwback, kind of a dirt dog type guy?
He came to the park angry. He left angry.
It's an angry man.
An angry man. Fun to play with.
Was he angry at you?
Oh, he skipped mad at me, yeah. The feeds weren't perfect. I mean, give it to me. Good.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He always says very good things about you, though. Anytime he's been on with us up here, he's a big fan of yours.
I'm a big fan of his.
Great competitor.
Great competitor. He was one of the best competitors I've ever played with.
He was managing in one time in the minor leagues for a while. I know he was an Angel as well. Do you remember what led that? Was he traded away?
Don't recall if he was or not. Then he got a bad arm. He hurt his arm. But he had a cannon for an arm. And he warm up playing catch with him. It was painful.
Really?
And, I say, Rooster, why don't you just warm up like normal people? Just kind of loosen your arm before you throw.
To left, Cespedes on the run to make the catch on the liner off the bat of De Aza. Cespedes, who made a bad play earlier, makes a good play there for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Cespedes quickly to his left right here. And eyes concentration on the baseball and able to put it right in that pocket of the glove. Hey, we'd also like to thank New Balance for hooking us up with some nice shoes for the run a home base race today. Of course, we couldn't run in it, but they did give us some running shoes, and they're very nice. They say Nesta on the back. Red and blue, very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, New Balance.
And congratulations to the Run to Home Base program today and their successful run here at Fenway Park. It was a good day for it, as it turned out. Gary Streisky will have more on today's festivities. This is to left, and Cespedes back onto the track, and he makes the catch again. So he has been tested in this inning, up to the task twice. As promised, Gary Streisky.
Guys, you talk about the Run to Home Base, obviously the 6th annual taking place this morning, and for those that might not be familiar with it, though really it's taken on a national presence, MGH and the Red Sox Foundation really help the invisible wounds of war from our returning veterans. This morning, nearly 2,500 runners, including active duty military men and women, embarking on the 9K journey. Of course, there was a 5K run walk too, if you didn't want to dabble in the 5.6 miles, but millions of dollars raised since its inception. MGH, of course, and their home base program, along with the Red Sox Foundation, helping those veterans. It was a good time. I mean, obviously, we set off at 8 o'clock this morning. It was a nice little run. Most people finishing around that 40, 50 hour mark. I will say the most impressive thing is watching those servicemen and women in their full fatigue gear with their 20, 30, 50-pound rucksacks making the entire run. It really makes you feel like you're not doing yourself a service if you're one of those people like myself who doesn't have one of those 50-pound packs. But nevertheless, this morning, fantastic, good cause, and proud to be a part of it.
That's great, and we thank you for being a part of it as well, and congratulate all the runners as well on all they raised today. Certainly one of the cornerstones of the Red Sox Foundation, and the great work of Tom Werner, really, to initiate that program, and the work of Mass General. So proud to have Mass General here in Boston as a great hospital.
Yeah, and congratulations to Gary and also to Tom Caron, both running in that race today. And Gary kind of threw the gauntlet down yesterday. It's TC.
Here we go. Listen, guys, I was humbled in defeat last year. TC beat me by like 3 minutes, so it was my only goal to beat him this year. But I also need to be humble in my victory. Hats off to TC. He's going to bring up the fact that he's like 23 years older than me, but I will say he did play college soccer, so he's a natural runner.
By putting people and communities first, Eastern Bank helps make good things happen. Watch how good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. Well, top of the fourth inning back at Fenway Park. Tigers on top of the Red Sox 2-0. And it is Victor Martinez leading it off here in the fourth. Martinez's second look at Stephen Wright. He grounded out to Brock Holt at second base in the first inning. It's now 5 in a row retired by Wright. Wright giving up a solo home run to Yoenis Cespedes in the first inning. And on a ground out by James McCann, the second Tigers run scored. There's a flare that is going to fall fair in behind third. Sandoval running it down, and a base hit for Martinez. Kind of fought that pitch off and has got himself a single.
That's swinging for one direction and hitting it the other direction. A little flare, as you mentioned, over the head of Pablo Sandoval on the knuckleball. And Martinez, of course, does not run very well. He'll end up with the single at first base as the ball bounces right there. He can take a spin off the wall and comes right back to Sandoval.
Lead runner on here for the Tigers, second time in 4 innings, and a swing there by J.D. Martinez. He wants home plate umpire Mike Everett to check. He called it himself. On the ground, down the line at third. It's a fair ball. Sandoval didn't think so as he hops up, but a fair ball and a base hit for J.D. Martinez. 2 on here with nobody out. It was right down the line.
Yeah, right over that third base bag as Sandoval dives for it. You see where he's playing, and you can see where the ball is, and it hits that dirt. It just barely catches the outside of that bag. That is in fair territory. Third base umpire Tim Timmons right on top of that play and immediately calling it a fair ball.
So first 2 have reached here for Detroit on base hits here in the fourth inning. Brings up Nick Castellanos. Light out to the center fielder Mookie Betts in the second inning. In the dirt, blocked by Swihart. No advance for the base runners. Castellanos at 296 with runners in scoring position. He's got Victor Martinez at second base, J.D. Martinez at first base. And that'll get away from Swihart, and the runners will move up. So both Martinez is moving up, second and third now.
Well, it's been a tough afternoon back there early for Blake Swihart. This should go probably as a pass ball also, as Swihart going to make the catch on it, but just gets a little bit of leather on it.
Another pass ball charged here to Swihart, third of the day. Now runners at second and third, nobody out.
The Red Sox bring the infield in just a couple of steps closer than double play debt.
Fly ball headed towards right center field and deep. Betts going back towards the triangle, and that'll one hop up into the seats for a ground rule double. As 2 runs will score on the play, and the Tigers take a 4-0 lead. So Castellanos sending one out to the triangle in right center field. It plates 2 more for Detroit. It's 4-0 Tigers.
That's a good approach there by Castellanos. He tries to wait back as long as he possibly can on the knuckleball and shoots it to the opposite field. Inside out swing, and it's going to one hop into the bullpen area. Or I should say into the stands. And he gets the ground rule double.
RBIs 44, 45 on the year for Castellanos. And here's Avila. Struck out but reached on a pass ball in the second inning. Red Sox shifting on the right side of the infield. Bogarts over to the right side. Only Sandoval on the left side. And a swing and a miss for strike 2. 5th career start at first base today for Avila. Way to keep his bat in the lineup for Brad Ausmus when he is not doing the catching, as he did catch in last night's series opener. Strike 3 call. Avila frozen. There's the 3rd strikeout for Stephen Wright of the day.
Good job by the home plate umpire Everett. He took his time making the call to make sure that he got it right. Takes a long look at it, then makes the strike 3 call, and he got it right. It was on the outside part of the plate. Knuckleball's tough on catchers. It's also tough on umpires.
So that's the first out here of the 4th inning. Brings up James McCann. Grounded into a fielder's choice in the 2nd, but picked up his 24th RBI along the way. High strike call. Lined and caught in the air. It'll turn into a double play. So Bogaerts makes the catch and then gets Castellanos at second. 2 more runs though for the Tigers, who lead it 4-0. At Eastern Bank, innovation doesn't just mean making life simpler. It means finding new technology that puts your needs first. See what's new at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. Now back at Fenway Park, where the Tigers have added 2 more runs in their half of the 4th inning to take a 4-0 lead to the bottom of the 4th. And Brock Holt leading it off and taking strike 1 from Alfredo Simon. Second time through. Red Sox order for Simon. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Gary Streisky with you from Fenway Park in Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Tigers. Red Sox with a walk-off win here last night, trying to make it 2 in a row. Brought a halt to their 8-game losing streak with the victory here last night. Of course, a walk-off hit for Xander Bogaerts, who waits on deck. Red Sox win and a loss for the Tigers, as Detroit now has lost 2 games in a row. And they enjoy a 4-0 lead here in the 4th. As Holt grounds one up the middle, Iglesias. Plenty of time to get Holt for the first out of the 4th inning.
Now Xander Bogaerts last night providing the big moment for the Red Sox as they were able to win a baseball game and break that losing streak. The line drive up the middle. And Mookie Betts coming around to score. Even there was a review of that play, so it took a long time for the Red Sox. They were celebrating, but the play was under review.
Took a little while to get the review process going.
Yeah.
I mean, Bogaerts had his shirt already ripped off him. I mean
it's not right. When you got a losing streak like that, you win the game, just end it. Celebrate.
Xander batting here for the second time today. Shirt's coming off, celebration on. They haven't even decided to appeal this yet. It's much later. And it took, 2.5 minutes for them to finalize the call. And the call on the field, the right call. Can't fault Brad Ausmus for trying. 3-8 now in extra inning games this season and 0-2 in the last 2 days. Pitch in there for a strike at the bottom of the zone. 6 in a row. Retired right now by Alfredo Simon. Swing and a miss, and Bogaerts strikes out. Second K for Simon. 2 down in the inning.
Now the first one came on a split-fingered fastball to Napoli. This time it's the fastball that gets into Bogaerts. That fastball down a little bit out of the strike zone and inside.
Mika Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brings up David Ortiz. He doubled in the 2nd inning and has one of 3 hits for the Red Sox as into the shift go the Tigers on the right side with Ian Kinsler in short right field. David shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes ball 1. See the hit direction for Ortiz. 39% of the time over the shift. But high, 3-0. And Ramirez on deck, and there are 2 outs here in the 4th inning. And a 4-pitch walk for David Ortiz. Down to first base, breaks up a string of 7 in a row, retired by Simone. Well, follow the Red Sox all season. MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet today. 2-out base runner for Boston. A chance here for Hanley Ramirez, who singled in the 2nd inning. Took second on the throw as David Ortiz got gunned down at the plate. Another outfield assist for Yoenis Cespedes. And a swing and miss for strike 1. Tenth road start of the year for Simone. 4-4 with a 6.08 earned run average. On the road. On the ground, up the middle into center field. Hanley Ramirez got a base hit. Ortiz takes second, and the Red Sox have something going here with 2 down in the inning.
Hanley takes a fastball that's down and away and hooks it up the middle for his 2nd hit of the afternoon. They wanted to go inside with that fastball like most pitchers do against Hanley, but that one goes away, and he takes it up the middle for the base hit.
2 on, 2 down, and it brings up Pablo Sandoval. Grounded out to Ian Kinsler at second base in the 2nd inning. Down and in. Sandoval jumping out of the way, and a good sprawling play by James McCann has been busy behind the plate. Perhaps not as busy as Blake Swihart today, but still some good plays by the Tigers catcher.
Yeah, McCann's been busy. Swihart's been very busy.
Two 2-0. Jeff Jones, the pitching coach for the Tigers. Jim Leyland's staff remaining in place here, and Brad Ausmus took over after Leyland retiring. Two 2-0 pitch is inside, and it is now 3-0. Understand that Omar Vizquel has left the team. Death in his family, so Alan Trammell moving to the first base coach's box today for the Tigers. Of course, Gene Lamont also on this staff for Detroit. He's also the bench coach for Jim Leyland. 3-0 pitch. And Sandoval's taking a second 4-pitch walk in this inning, and now the bases are loaded, all with 2 outs, and Jeff Jones going to make a trip to the mound now.
That's pretty tough to do, walk Sandoval, because we know that he swings at a lot of pitches. That's only his 16th walk of the season, and that will bring a visit from the pitching coach.
Well, tomorrow at 7:30, tune in to the Ultimate Red Sox show presented by AAA. We'll profile the special relationship between Xander Bogaerts and his brother Jair, plus a recap of today's run to home base. Tune in tomorrow at 7:30 right here on NESN. So bases loaded, 2 down, and Mike Napoli coming up. Napoli struck out swinging in the second inning. 0 for 1. 2 strikeouts on the day for Simone. Outfield about straight away and deep here on Napoli. 50th pitch coming up for Simone. On the ground, foul. Career .294 hitter with the bases loaded for Napoli. 6 grand slams on his resume. 0 for 4 this year as he bats with Ortiz at third, Ramirez at second, and Sandoval at first. Outside.
Tries the curveball that time. See if Napoli would chase to put himself in an 0-2 hole, but he did not. See the pitch by innings, total of 51.
Most taxing inning to date right now for Simone, who's kind of lost it after getting 2 quick outs. Walks Ortiz. Gives up a base hit to Ramirez. Walks Sandoval. And now it's a ball and a strike to Mike Napoli. 2-1. Tying run at the plate right now, and Napoli, who does have 11 home runs on the year. With Alejandro Diaz waiting on deck. On the ground towards third. Castellanos on the run, and in time to get Napoli, and the Red Sox leave them loaded. 4-0 Tigers at the end of 4. tribute to fans from his native Dominican Republic by repeating his number retirement ceremony in Spanish as part of Viva Dominica Night. All fans will receive Dominican flags and postcard replicas of Martinez's Hall of Fame plaque copy in Spanish. Visit RedSox.com to get your tickets today.
And you don't want to miss it on Nesson because Don's going to do the whole way go in Spanish.
How about you throwing out yet another Spanish word that you know? That's pretty good. Yeah.
I want to hear you do the whole game in Spanish that night. It's going to be great.
Jose Iglesias leading it off here in the 5th inning. Lined out sharply to Hanley Ramirez in left field in the 2nd inning. Fouled off to the left and out of play. Evens a count of 2-2 to Iglesias. Iglesias followed by the top of the order, Rajai Davis and Ian Kinsler in the inning. Still only 25 years of age is Iglesias. Down the right field line and foul towards Campus Alley. Spent all of last year on the DL. Straightens this out, sends it to deep left field, and that is high off the wall. Ramirez plays the carom. Iglesias headed to second base. He'll get there head first, slide into second base. And Iglesias with a double to begin the 5th inning.
Second time Iglesias hit the ball hard. First time was a line drive at Ramirez. This time up off the wall. Knuckleball stays high, and the old saying, when it's high, let it fly. And that's exactly what Iglesias did right there. Hard line drive off the top of the wall. Still able to get 2 bases out of it with the head first slide.
Rajai Davis now bats. And this one will kick off Swihart. And Iglesias headed to third base.
I would guess that this one will probably go as a pass ball also.
It is a pass ball.
A lot of the pass balls have been very similar where they've been hitting the top of the glove. All Swihart can do is shake his head. Infield comes in for the Red Sox, already down 4 runs.
Ball and a strike here to Rajai Davis, who has flied to right and grounded out to third base. Fouls it off Swihart's mask and is down 1-2. Rajai Davis resides in East Lyme, Connecticut during the offseason. 34 years old. He was born in Norwich, Connecticut, and he strikes out. There's the 4th strikeout for Stephen Wright. 1 down in the inning is sent it down to Gary.
Guys, seems like in retrospect, a conversation I had with Blake before this game was actually doing a little foreshadowing. I was asking him the major difference, if you can name one from the minors to the majors, and he said it was nothing physical, whether it be the speed of the game or the big crowds. He said it was the ability to compartmentalize batter to batter, inning to inning, and you got to think with all these pass balls or wild pitches, however they decide to score them. I mean, if that's not creeping into the forefront of his head, having had a handful of them already this game.
Total of 4 pass balls in this game right now.
You know, as a catcher, I can't imagine what it's like to try and catch the knuckleball. It's a special talent, really, and you know, you just feel bad for him back there because there's nothing they can do about it.
This one will get away, and not coming plateward is Iglesias. He will remain at third base. Perhaps maybe the ricochet would be too quick back to Swihart, so he remains at third.
Right on cue, another one that gets by Swihart. This one, watch the end of this, how it dips and goes underneath the glove.
inside, and it almost hit him. 3-0. Kinsler 0 for 2. He struck out swinging and fly to right. Yoenis Cespedes waiting on deck. There's a strike, 3-1.
Fastball a lot of time on the 3-0 count, and that's how we get Davis to strike out on a fastball.
Ball 4, and down to first goes Kinsler. There's the second walk of the day allowed by Wright.
Let's see if Kinsler takes off. He's got 7 steals on the season. He's been caught 5 times, though, but as we've mentioned many times, guys love to get on first base that can run with a knuckleball pitcher on the mound.
First and third, 1 down, and here comes John Farrell out of the dugout. There's action in the Red Sox pen as Noe Ramirez warming in the pen. And John Farrell's going to make the move here after the walk to Ian Kinsler with Cespedes coming up. Noe Ramirez should be coming in. That's the day for Stephen Wright. Tigers have a 4-0 lead. Third, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned so far. He is responsible for the 2 men on, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Ends up throwing 74 pitches as throw to first base and back to the bag is Kinsler.
Iglesias getting down that line on that throw to first base just in case there's a bobble by Napoli.
It's called to the bullpen, brought to you by Kia. Noe Ramirez into the game. Here it's a first and third situation with 1 down, and Cespedes taking strike 1. There is pitched in Los Angeles against the Angels. Last time we saw him, his 3rd appearance in a Red Sox uniform, 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA. Opponent sitting at .294 against him. And a swing and a miss as he gets that one by Cespedes.
Again, elevating the fastball against Cespedes. We saw that last night with Tozawa late in the ball game in a critical situation, picking up a strikeout.
Ramirez was used as a starter for the Pawtucket Red Sox, 18 games, 4-0, 2.15 ERA. Can't get the call on the corner, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. On-roster invitee to spring training, both in 2014 and in 2015. Two and two. Finished up pretty well with the Paw Sox before coming up to Boston. Each of his last 5 appearances for Pawtucket were scoreless. 7 1/3 innings for him. 2-2 pitch. And it's fouled off the catcher, Swihart.
Now, last night we were talking about Cespedes in that matchup against Tazawa. It was all fastballs from Junichi Tazawa and elevated fastballs. Big strikeout there with a man in scoring position.
The line for Tazawa last night, a no decision. 2-2 pitch. And a foul off to the right, out of play. So Stephen Wright still responsible for Iglesias, who is at third base. Ian Kinsler, who is at first base. And John Farrell going to the pen here in the 5th inning. In the air to left center field. That's from center, Ramirez from left, and it's Ramirez who makes the catch, and pretty shallow left center. No chance there for Iglesias to try it at third base, and there are 2 outs in the inning. Well, shop at Jordan's Furniture now and you receive a credit that's equal to twice the amount of the mass sales tax. Save 12.5% on your purchase now through August the 14th. Visit Jordans.com for details.
That's Hat Lady.
Red Sox.
Lynn Smith.
Red Sox.
I'm wearing that hat a long time, Jerry.
And we see it in a lot of different places, don't we?
I do a lot of traveling around the league. First and third, 2 down in the inning. And Victor Martinez takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Martinez grounded out to second base in the first, single to left, and scored in the 4th inning. All of that was against the Red Sox knuckleballer Stephen Wright. Outside for ball 3, and it's 3-0. Noe Ramirez, a 4th-round pick in June of 2011. 25-year-old. Born and resides in Los Angeles, California. Outside for ball 4, and this will load him up now for the Tigers. 3rd walk allowed today by Red Sox pitching, the first for Noe Ramirez. Well, Tuesday on the Red Sox report, Brock Holt is a star in Cincinnati. Tim Wakefield raises funds on the course, and the Rocket returns to throw BP. Catch it all on the Red Sox report Tuesday at 5 p.m. Bases loaded for the Tigers, already on top 4-0. 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and here's J.D. Martinez. First a visit by Swihart, headed out to the mound. Shadows encompassing the home plate area. Mound still in the sunshine. And a swing and a miss on the breaking ball from Ramirez.
Pretty good slider there by Ramirez on that first pitch to J.D. Martinez. A very dangerous hitter with the bases loaded.
4 for 7 this year in that category with 7 RBIs. A little bit low, and it's a ball and a strike. A walk and a single already today for J.D. Martinez. Did he go? No. As they check with Tim Wilkie, first base umpire.
Well, this is the count you want to be in with the bases loaded. 2 balls and 1 strike. That time he was laying off the slider to get the count to 2-1.
In the air to center field, sending Mookie Betts back to the track, and he'll make the catch that will end the inning. Good drive there by J.D. Martinez, but Betts back there to make the grab. It's 4-0 Detroit. Fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag NESN Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. 4-0 Tigers have the lead in the 5th inning. Alejandro De Aza, Blake Swihart, and Mookie Betts about here in the bottom of the 5th against Alfredo Simon. Tigers had a chance to add on to their 4-0 advantage, but they leave the bases loaded as Noe Ramirez. It looks like Masai Takahashi working on his hand there in between innings. I'm sure he's got a blister. What's going on there? De Aza lined out to Cespedes in left field in the 3rd inning in his first at bat. His second look today at Simon.
Saw in that camera shot we had of the dugout, Jason Varitek joining the club for a couple of days. I'm sure we'll probably be around for the Pedro Martinez ceremony.
swing and a miss. It gets away from McCann, who's got to throw out Diaz, and he does. There's a third strikeout for Simone. I want to remind you to stay right here. The end of this inning, the third out of this inning, for a special behind-the-scenes look at what happens in between innings. Just like you're at the ballpark today. You get a chance to see that at the end of this inning. Be sure and stay with us. Still working on that finger there is Noe Ramirez. One out here in the fifth inning, and it brings up Blake Swihart. Swihart flied out to the warning track in left field in the third inning. Line to right, and this will get down. Head back towards the wall. Swihart will touch second, and he's thinking three. Throwing that direction, he's got himself a triple with one out here in the fifth inning. Down to the right field corner for the Red Sox catcher.
Now that has to make him feel good. It's been a tough afternoon behind the plate trying to handle that knuckleball. Hit the ball well twice today. A line drive to left field in his first at bat. This time he finds that gap. He gets it by J.D. Martinez and rolls all the way to the wall. He's checking out Butterfield. Butterfield's waving him on and picks up the three-base hit right there. With one out, the Red Sox got a chance to get on the board here.
Top of the order, Mookie Betts. There's a base hit back in the first inning. A single to center. He's also line to left. 1 for 2 today. So Simone, who get out of a bases loaded 2-out situation in the fourth inning, now being tested again. And misses for ball one. .324 with runners in scoring position for Mookie Betts. That'll bounce in for ball two. 2-0. Another good pick by McCann.
Yeah, McCann, both guys, as we mentioned on earlier, very, very busy this afternoon. A nice backhanded play by McCann here to save a run. Looked like an infielder there trying to pick that ball.
Working from the ground up.
Yes, very good, Don. Excellent. Learn anything in 15 years, you work from the ground up.
From the ground up. There's a few other things I picked up over the years from you.
I hope so.
Yeah. In there for a strike, and it's 2-1. I know the fastest exit from every ballpark in Major League Baseball.
For me.
Yes.
Yeah.
The quickest way to get from the booth to where you want to go.
Well, you missed Houston. Right through the kitchen.
You went to the kitchen?
Right through the kitchen.
That's a new one. He's in there for strike two. I know in Tampa to go down the stairwell. I know in Baltimore to go behind the stairwell. These are stairwells I didn't even know existed. And fly down those stairs.
We're not in any hurry or anything. We're just trying to grab a cab.
Betts fouls it off. Hits him twice, but he was in the box.
Hey, a lot of these ballparks I've been going to since I was 22 years old, for crying out loud. Yep. So you get to learn a lot of the quick ways out.
The behind the scenes.
Yeah, and the new ones you got to kind of explore a little bit.
Yeah, it's Houston. I'm shocked by. I had no idea you go through the kitchen.
Right down to the second floor and right through the kitchen.
Was that a mistake, or did you ask somebody? Or did you map it out before the game? How did you figure that out?
I asked somebody. It was a little bit of a surprise, and I would say by the time the game was over and back to the hotel through the kitchen, no more than 7 minutes.
On the ground to third base. Castellanos will go to first, and the Red Sox will get on the board. Swihart from third, and it's now 4-1 Detroit. RBI on the ground out for Mookie Betts.
Now Mookie just had to make contact in this at bat, and contact was going to bring in a run because the infield was back. And so they do get the second out of the inning, but the Red Sox pick up their first run of the ball game, cut it to 3.
So 2 down, bases empty, and Brock Holt the batter. Grounded into a double play in the first, grounded out to short in the 4th inning. Yank that down and in. And Simone coming in to today's outing with a record of 8-6, 4.63 earned run average, 19th start of the year. Giving up his first run of his outing here in the 5th inning. And falling behind Holt now, 2-1. First series of 2 against the Tigers. 3 games here, then 3 games in Detroit, August 7th through the 9th, for the Red Sox visiting Comerica Park. One hopper to Kinsler at second base. That'll wrap up the 5th inning. Red Sox get a run. It is 4-1 Detroit. Don't go anywhere. Let's stay in the park.
On behalf of Southwest Airlines.
The Tigers have the lead. Red Sox do get a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hope you enjoyed staying at the ballpark there in between innings.
That was just great watching you stretch out.
He's trying to get loose here in between innings as well. I like to.
Not the 7th inning yet. It's only
I know,
the 5th inning.
but I limber up in between every inning to stay loose. The Castellanos letting it off here in the 6th inning for Detroit against Noe Ramirez. High drive, deep left field, and Castellanos gets into this one up and over everything for his 9th home run of the year, and the Tigers have their 4-run lead back again on top 5-1.
Now he has really hit the ball hard today. Last time a ground rule double, a drive in 2 runs, and this time the long home run of Noe Ramirez, a fastball that comes riding back out over the plate, and a perfect swing put on by Castellanos. So the Red Sox get one back, give it right back.
Second home run of the day for the Tigers. Cespedes with a solo shot in the first. That was off Stephen Wright. And it is 5-1 Detroit. There's a ground ball foul off the bat of Alex Avila. Nine home runs for Castellanos and 3 RBI day, so 46 on the year now for the third baseman for the Tigers. Shift on for the Red Sox on the right side here on Avila. Shadows making their way now to the pitching mound with still a lot of sunshine in the outfield. Two and one. Yanked it down and in. 3-1. Ramirez took over last inning for Stephen Wright. Wright goes 4 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, a couple earned. He walked 2, struck out 4 and on the hook right now. Came into this game individually 3-3 on the year. On the ground, foul, and it's a full count. Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Steve Lyons will break down today's game, and they'll have an update from L. Duncan live in Cooperstown. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Huba WB Mason.
We had that update from Elle last night during our game. She looked lonely out there, but I bet it's getting pretty crowded today.
We're going to hear from her in the next half inning, so we'll hear from her again soon, and I'm guessing that it's picked up a little bit around where she'll be.
Yeah, I think they probably put out the seats for everybody and the staging.
She was telling us last night a huge contingent of Astros fans there for Craig Biggio, and there's a live look at Cooperstown right now. They're setting up the seats there to get the best vantage point. On the ground down the line at first. Napoli on a fair ball picks it, takes it to the bag for the first out of the inning. Well, just one Nexium 24-hour a day gives you all day, all night protection from frequent heartburn. Go to Nexium24hour.com for savings and pick up Nexium 24-hour at your local Stop and Shop. One out here in the 6th inning brings up James McCann. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning and picked up an RBI, then lined out sharply but into a double play in the 4th inning. Tad low, and it's 2-1. Leadoff home run by Nick Castellanos. The first run charged to Noe Ramirez. Falls behind now, 3-1. Jose Iglesias on deck, 1 out in the Tigers' 6th inning. And a fly ball to center field. He'll drop in for a hit. Up over Holt at second base, and McCann has his first hit of the day. They'll get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Clark Sports Center in Cooperstown, New York. Photojournalist Brian Brennan giving us a great look there today. One out, one on, as Jose Iglesias stands in. In there for strike one. Remember back in the days of there being an exhibition game played there every year. The Hall of Fame.
Yes, we televised one from Cooperstown one year. I believe it was the Red Sox against the Cincinnati Reds, if I'm not mistaken.
Chop left side, Sandoval underhanded will lift Holt off the bag, and they get nobody. Underhanded from a very far distance. And it sent Holt up into the air, and safe at second is McCann.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Sandoval go with the underhand that trip to second base instead of going overhand where the ball would come down on a downward movement to Brock Holt. He just has to leave the bag. Now, does he come back on it before McCann touches it? That's the question, and they're going to review it.
John Farrell wants a challenge.
Up. When does he get back down on the bag? Well, maybe before the runner got there.
Yeah,
I think he did.
Yep.
It's going to be overturned. Hope comes up off the bag, but I believe that foot got back down on the bag before the right leg.
Yeah,
he did.
He is out at second base. So 5-4 on the force out. Challenge won by the Red Sox. So Iglesias reaches at first base. 2 down in the inning. They'll bring up Rajai Davis. Davis 0 for 3 in the game. His fly to right, grounded out to third, and struck out swinging.
I was thinking back down to that game I was talking about from Cooperstown, and I'm not sure if we played a game against anybody.
Did it get canceled or something? The Reds had trouble getting there. I remember something about that.
There was something about whoever it was. It might have been the Reds couldn't get there.
Yeah.
And I think we played an inter-squad game.
Is that how it worked out?
I may be wrong on that. Somebody maybe go back and check.
Rajai Davis skies one in the infield as Sandoval into foul ground will make the catch. Took a long time to come down. Home run by Nick Castellanos as the Tigers on top 5-1. Red Sox. Whether you're taking your truck off-road, the kids to practice, or your sports car to its limits, there's a Toyo Tire for you. Visit toyotires.com to find a dealer near you. 5-1, Tigers on top of the Red Sox. We venture into the bottom of the 6th inning. 3, 4, and 5 for the Red Sox. Bogarts, Ortiz, and Ramirez. And Xander showing bunt, but taking the ball outside. 0 for 2 as he has fly to right and struck out swinging. Sox have action in the pen. Justin Masterson, right-hander, warming in the pen. That'll miss, and it's 2-0. Alfredo Simon giving up his first run of his outing in the 5th inning. And a ground out by Mookie Betts, who plated Blake Swihart. Then the Tigers come right back with another run in the 6th inning, lead it 5-1. Grounder foul.
I was right, Don, about the game against the Reds. They had a mechanical problem with their flight, never got to Cooperstown, and we did play an inter-squad game. 1989, yeah. That was my second year as a broadcaster. I remember we were broadcasting from right behind home plate outside.
Huh. The next year, I'm told the Orioles and Expos were canceled due to rain. Curious when that game went away. It seemed that guys who were going into the Hall of Fame that year was representative of 2 of those teams, if I'm not mistaken, that were part of the exhibition each year, but it did go away at some point.
It was kind of a strange day because you really didn't get an opportunity to get in to see Cooperstown itself, you know, the Hall of Fame. You just fly in, play the game, and fly out.
2-2 to Bogarts. And a swing and a miss. Xander strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Simon. Well, it's time now for an NESN Sports Today update. El Duncan is standing by live in Cooperstown from the Baseball Hall of Fame ceremonies. El?
Yes, I am, Don. We still haven't figured out what this place is called. The land of lawn chairs, as we saw earlier, the field of dreams. I don't know. Either way, about 20 hours from now, the 4 newest members of the Hall of Fame will take to that stage behind me and give their speeches. Pedro Martinez and the others speaking, though, with the media a little bit earlier today. Tonight on NESN Sports Today at 10 p.m., you will hear from Pedro and whether he thinks more Dominican players belong in the Hall. It was actually kind of a surprising answer. All that is coming up for sure. But Don and Jerry, I told you guys yesterday that there was a lot of Astros fans here, and there still are. A lot more Boston fans trickling in, including one named Lisa, who charged me, Don. And when I say charged me, I mean she ran up to me and said, you are no longer ever allowed to take any days off because the day you came back, the Red Sox won, so it's your fault that they didn't win anything preceding your vacation. So I did tell her that if you looked at their record, there wasn't necessarily a correlation between you working games and them winning.
This is true.
Care, so.
All right, El, thanks very much.
I told her I'd pass it on.
I appreciate that very much, and we thank you for your reports and look forward to all the reports as this is back to the mound, and Simone stayed with it, got Ortiz. And the crowd kind of giving it to David Ortiz here a little bit. He did not run all that hard to first base, and the bobble by Simone, he had plenty of time to get David still because he wasn't running very hard.
No, he stopped. He stopped running to first base, and that's why the crowd is booing. He starts off. Once he sees Simone catch the ball, he stops. That's why you run hard all the way to first base all the time.
So 2 down in the inning here in the 6th. Here comes Hanley Ramirez with 2 away in the inning. It's the last time you were at the Hall. Did you ever get a chance? You said you went to the Hall of Fame, didn't go in. Did you ever go in?
I actually have never been in.
Never been.
No,
huh.
And it's really, it's my fault. I mean, we're close enough to be able to drive up there and see it. I should certainly do that probably this fall.
I was with the Pittsfield Mets for a couple seasons in our division with Oneonta, the Yankees single-A team in the New York Penn League, Damashki Field in Oneonta, and every year Pittsfield Mets would make it, you'd spend the day there in the morning before you play the night game, so we'd go every year. It wasn't far from Oneonta, New York, where the Yankees were for a number of years. Tigers were actually there too. But, it's great. You got to go, especially for someone like yourself who's been a career major leaguer.
Yeah, I don't know why it hasn't happened. I just have not got there. And I really should make it a point to check it out anyway, at least one time.
Two down here in the 6th inning. Ramirez to shallow left. Kind of a bad read by Cespedes, but it'll fall. No, it'll be caught by over the shoulder of the shortstop Iglesias. Fortunately for Cespedes, he started back, then came in, and it's the shortstop. Takes care of business. That was pretty. Protection products and fabrication for facilities throughout the Northeast. Did you know FWWeb did that? Learn more about this proud Boston Red Sox sponsor at FWWeb.com. Only Ramirez's day is over. After an inning and 2/3, he's charged with a run on the home run by Castellanos, and Justin Masterson appearing in his 14th game of the year, 4-2, 5.86 earned run average, 40 strikeouts. Opponent's hitting at .292 against Masterson. Ian Kinsler, Yoenis Cespedes, and Victor Martinez to bat in the inning.
Back-to-back games for Masterson. He was involved in the ball game last night here at Fenway Park.
It's got to be different for him as he adapts again to being in the bullpen. His first win, as it turned out, in relief, as he threw a scoreless 11th inning last night. This gets the home plate umpire, Mike Everett.
He was involved last night in a strike him out, throw him out in the 11th inning. Strikes out Victor Martinez right there on the breaking ball, and Hannigan throwing out Ian Kinsler at third base. Get the Red Sox out of a jam.
Swing and a miss, and it's a breaking ball away that Kinsler chases for strike 3, 1 down.
A good slider there by Masterson as he drops down to the side and gets it to the outside part of the plate, off the plate, and chased by Kinsler.
How far that runs away.
When he throws is good when it starts off as a strike but ends up as a ball.
1 down for Cespedes, who homered back in the first inning. 1 for 3 day, and now has 15 round trippers. Down the third baseline, but Sandoval Good hard throw in time. 2 down. Arbella Insurance Foundation is the proud presenting sponsor of the WEI Nesson Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon this season, dedicated to striking out cancer in kids. Arbella donates $50 for every strikeout thrown by a Red Sox pitcher, up to $100,000. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. 2 down in the 7th inning, and it brings up Victor Martinez. Grounded out to second base in the 1st inning. Single in the 4th. Walked in the 5th, and this right back to Masterson. A nice play by the Red Sox pitcher, and a nice top of the 7th inning for Masterson. It's 5-1 Tigers. Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. And by your local Subaru dealers. Back in Boston on what's turned out to be a very nice late afternoon, early evening, with the Tigers on top 5-1 right now. Heading into the bottom of the 7th inning, Alfredo Simon. His pitching line is brought to you by Eastern Lexus dealers. And 6 innings, 5 hits, just the 1 run. RBI ground out by Mookie Betts. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. He's 81 pitches deep into his outing. Pablo Sandoval leading it off. Mike Napoli, Alejandro De Aza. There's strike 1, a high strike call to Sandoval, who has grounded out to second base and walked. Fouled back 0-2, and Simone may have hurt himself. Down onto his, bent over there a little bit to his knees after that last pitch. Catcher noticed right away. James McCann called for the trainer.
See if we can pick anything up on the replay here. Simone making the pitch. Well, certainly hard to tell what he injured. Yeah, it looked like a lower body injury right there to Simone. And he's going to leave the ball game, so that'll allow somebody else to come in and have as many warm-up tosses as they need to get ready.
Yeah, they had nobody warming in the pen. So 5-1, Tigers have the lead. A pitching change here after the injury to Alfredo Simon. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Back at Fenway Park in Boston, where the Tigers have a 5-1 lead over the Red Sox. An injury to the pitcher Simone as he leaves the game. We'll check out today's game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Simone before departing, 6+ innings, 5 hits, only 1 run. Castellanos with a home run, 1 of 2 for the Tigers. Cespedes has the other. Stephen Wright currently on the hook as he gives up 2 earned runs of the 4 that he allowed as the Red Sox trail 5-1 in this game as they'll be coming to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Great to have with us. He was in the Legend Suite earlier. Rick Burleson joining us, and great to see you, Rooster. How you doing?
Good, Don. Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you again. Been up a couple times over the years, and
What's up,
of course,
Rooster?
Jerry.
Double play partners reunited here in the booth again.
That's right. You know, I couldn't leave Boston without coming up and saying hello to my Keystone partner, Jerry, and I've been watching you guys every night. It's been a pleasure. I just wish the results were a little bit different, but you know they're going to turn it around. It's just a matter of getting the team together and getting used to each other. You know, you got new players like Sandoval and Ramirez, so it takes a while. It's not going to happen overnight, but the pitching's coming around. Miley's doing a lot better and not feuding, so things are looking up.
No, it has been good. I got to ask you about playing with Jerry because you've been on a few times, and I think the times you've been on with us, Jerry has not been here for the most part. I know last time you were here, Jerry had been sick at the time, and I have to ask you about Jerry because he says that there were times where he would give you a bad feed and he would hear about it on occasion. And I just want to know, has he ever gone back at you, I mean, on a bad feed? I mean, is this a one-way thing, or how did this work out?
Well, I got him hurt originally, but it was offensively. He tried to score on a blooper I hit to right in Yankee Stadium. I don't know, somebody sent him, but
No, I went on my own. I tried to get you an RBI. And I was out by about 30 feet.
I would hear about it if I got him taken out a little bit at second base with a throw behind him or something, which happens. But you know, we were good together, and I just wish we could have played a lot longer. He came over in '78. We were together 3 years, and I would have liked to have seen what would have happened for the next 5, but it wasn't to be. You know, the contingent decided to rid themselves of myself and Freddie and Pudge, and we were on to new ball clubs, and Jerry remained in Boston. But we'd have all liked to have stayed here and played our whole career here. It would have been wonderful.
Don was asking me earlier about what it was like to play with you, and I said, well, you came to the ballpark mad and you left mad. Every single game, win or lose.
That's way overrated.
No, he's mad now.
I'm mad because I have to listen to Don every night. You know, the sun does set in the west, out where I live, God's country, and I'm glad Jerry put you in the right place yesterday. But it's great to be back. This is a wonderful city, wonderful baseball town, and you guys have to appreciate what you get to do every day here because it's beautiful to be here, and even though they can't win every year, which everybody wants, it's still good baseball and Major League Baseball, and there's one guy they got to get going offensively, that's for sure.
Sandoval retired here 6-3, and we've been able to watch Jose Iglesias come up with the Red Sox over the years. Now the Tigers, a shortstop yourself, you got to be impressed by what you see from this youngster.
Well, yeah, he's fantastic. He made that catch over his shoulder look like it was easy, and it was not easy, as Jerry can attest to. But you know, the Red Sox have a pretty darn good one themselves.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a lot of good things out of that guy. He's a pretty good player.
Do you have a favorite moment over the course of your career as a member of the Red Sox?
Yeah, it wasn't facing Nolan Ryan, I can tell you that. And that was Jerry's good buddy in his Anaheim days. And he always seemed to pitch a 5 o'clock game against us where you couldn't see the ball at all. You know, it took him 100 years to finally put a tarp out there in Fenway. And I'm surprised somebody didn't really get hurt bad. You know, I remember the Canigliaro deal, but I don't remember if that was day or night. But this is a very tough ballpark to hit in during the daytime, and especially at this time of the night when this game started. But Nolan Ryan with that curveball and his fastball, Goose Gossage, Ron Guidry in '78 when he won 25 games. Those guys were as tough as any of them. And you know, every night it was tough for me. I don't know about Jerry, but if I got a knock and a walk, I was pretty happy.
Oh, I'm with you.
Good with that, Jerry?
Good with that. Did you ever think that at our age we'd still see this ballpark right now?
I thought it would have been moved the way people were acting a few years ago, that they were going to move it down to the water somewhere, and they still might someday. But it's, if you didn't know it was 120 years old or whatever it is, you'd think you were in a modern park because it's so beautiful, and it's what they've done here with the left field seats, the right field upper deck, the suites that I was just in. Those things are wonderful, and they pack it every night. What more could you ask?
One of my favorite Rick Burleson stories, and I tell this to everybody because they always ask about Rooster, and I we used to have a PA guy named Sherm Fella, who since has passed away. And at this ballpark, it was the only ballpark in the American League where after you made an error, he would come over the PA system and say, if it was Rooster, he'd go, "That's E6, E6." Now lights are going off all over the place. Error here, error there, and you should have heard Rooster yelling from shortstop up at Sherm. It was hilarious.
Well, and he would wait for the whole place to calm down after the fans booed you, and it was all quiet, and they were ready for the next pitch to the next hitter. Then he would come out and say, "Error, shortstop." And that's when I learned. Well, I guess the four-letter word. When you got to know Sherm, he was a great guy. He actually set me up one time with some tickets to a rock band here, and we had a great time. So I can't say enough. And his voice was
unique,
amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
I think the two best places to get introduced were Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park.
And Baltimore with,
too.
Rex Barney.
Yep.
I remember when they announced the Baltimore Orioles back in the 70s, every pitcher was a winning pitcher, and we would sit by the dugout, and they'd announce the lineup, and they go, and Rex would say, "And doing the pitching for the Orioles, number 22, Jim Palmer, 26 and 3. And we just look at each other. We have no chance. Every one of their pitchers was 22 and something.
I hated that trip to Baltimore. I absolutely hated it.
And I even played there my last year thinking I could get a hit there, but the lights were rough on me there.
Mike Napoli here with a walk with one out in the inning.
The other thing, too, is if you made contact in Baltimore, you still had Brooks Robinson, Mark Belanger, Bobby Grich, Boog Powell. I mean, you couldn't get the ball through the infield anyway if you made contact. So
I was thinking of a trivia question that they could ask, too, because who was the first shortstop to win a Gold Glove after Mark Belanger didn't win it after 17 straight years? And the answer was Rick Burleson in 1979. And I only won one because then they started giving it to Yount and Trammell and everybody else that came along that was better than me. But Belanger was pretty darn good at shortstop for the Orioles for many years. And Bobby Grich, and I mean, you name them, those guys could pick it out there.
Yeah, that was a tough trip.
Well, Shane Victorino is going to pinch hit here for Alejandro De Aza. And they're going to make a change. Rick Burleson, it was great to see you. Thanks for coming up. Good to see you as always.
My pleasure. And sometime I come back, I'll get to do more than 2 outs.
There you go.
1 out. 1 out tonight. I got to do 3 outs last time. 1 out tonight. Okay, I had to call down to get in here, and now it's out after 1.
Pitching change here from Fenway Park as they're going to mix it up. The Red Sox right now trailing 5-1 in the ball game. We will step aside and come back with more right after this. 5-1, the Tigers have the lead over the Red Sox. One out here in the 7th inning. As Balloon has made its way down to the field, back up again. Some cheering going on down there in the right field line. And not a lot to cheer about so far here today for the Red Sox, as Alex Wilson, former Red Sox reliever, into the game here. His 37th appearance, 1-3 with a 1.94 earned run average. 30 strikeouts, 8 walks. Opponents hitting at .234 against Wilson. Victorino pinch hitting, and did he go? They'll check. No, he did not, says Tim Welke. Victorino at .247 with a home run, 4 runs batted in. Batting for Alejandro De Aza, who had lined out to left and struck out swinging. Back to the Balloon. Ground ball towards short, could be 2. Iglesias to second for 1, on to first, and keeping the foot on the bag is Avila for the back end of the double play that ends the bottom of the 7th inning. We are through 7. Tigers have a 5-1 lead. Sox, Masterson back on the mound, and it's J.D. Martinez who leads it off for Detroit. He has walked, singled, and flied out to center field. Right fielder for the Tigers. Masterson had a 1-2-3 7th inning. Victorino staying in the game in right field after pinch hitting for Alejandro De Aza. So we've seen Stephen Wright for 4 1/3. Noe Ramirez for an inning in 2/3. Wright allowing 4 runs. Ramirez a run. Another grounder foul, and it's 1-2. Well, great to see Rick Burleson here at the ballpark today, and glad he joined us as well. I know a guy that you're very close with over the years, Jerry.
Yeah, a good friend, and a guy that I really enjoyed playing with. He was kind of, when I got traded here, he kind of took me under his wing, as a shortstop, and he became a decent combination around the bag, and always remained a good friend, and just nice to see him in and out of town very quickly. In last night, out tomorrow morning, with spending the day here in Boston and Fenway, and that's great.
1-2 pitch. In the dirt outside, 2-2.
It was intimidating for me when I got traded here because it was really, you know, the team that I grew up watching, not those particular players. Stremski was one of them, of course. And to come here and
off the glove of Masterson, it'll get into center field. And Martinez got a base hit to begin the 8th.
You know, to come here and be part of a Red Sox team that I had grown up as a fan of, and be with people like Carlton Fisk and Kyle Yastrzemski and Jim Rice and Fred Lynn and Dwight Evans and, you know, Butch Hobson and guys like that. And, you know, Burleson kind of took me under his wing. And because I was, even though I'd played 3 years in the big leagues, I felt like I was a rookie again playing with those guys. So it was really comforting to me to make a quick friend and, you know, then really get to know everybody else. And then Fisk was great, too. He gave me a call when I got traded here, and he was also terrific.
What do you think about how that team changed in a hurry? He was talking about it as well.
They broke up a very good team. You know, a team that may have had a chance to do something special, like the 2014. Maybe. You know, we don't know. But we had our opportunity in '78 and didn't get it done against the Yankees in the playoff game. And he talked about Guidry that year winning all those games, and because he beat us in that playoff game, 5-4 game. But it was quite a collection of players, and you know, a lot of those guys were in the, well, if they're not in the Red Sox Hall of Fame, they're in Cooperstown Hall of Fame. So
yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, they still play that game all the time, and I know you watch it, and the result never seems to change.
Won't change. Won't change.
Pitch is inside, 1-2.
You know, it's rare to play on a team, and especially when we played here at Fenway Park, where you kind of knew you were going to win every night you played there. It was very strange, and especially against certain teams. And it was really a confident feeling.
This is a nice play by Bogaerts, quickly up to second, and a nice play by Xander to the backhand. We get the force out and got ourselves a game break. It's brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Back here at Fenway Park, it is 5-1. The Tigers have the lead over the Red Sox, as Castellanos, who just reached on a fielder's choice, will be run for, as it'll be Andrew Romine running at first base. So Castellanos' day is over. Runner on at first, 1 down, and Alex Avila, the batter. Checked by Masterson at first. Outside, it's ball 1 to Avila. Reached on a strikeout, a wild pitch back in the second inning. Actually, they changed it to a pass ball and then struck out in the 4th, grounded out to first base in the 6th inning. A nice play defensively to end the 7th inning on a double play ball at first, keeping his foot on the bag. Just his 5th start at first base. And he grounds this one foul.
World War II vet.
To left, and Ramirez will make the catch. Line drive off the bat of Avila, and he is out number 2 of the inning. Well, local Dunkin' Donuts franchisees are proud to give back to the communities in which they live and work. Thousands of kids have had the chance to catch a free Sox game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. Today we welcome the Foxborough Youth Baseball and Softball Association from Foxborough, Mass. to historic Fenway Park. Dunkin' Donuts, committed to the community. Well, it turned out to be a very nice day here at Fenway Park. Tigers batting with 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning. Runner at first and James McCann, the batter. He'll take strike one from Masterson. Can has grounded into a fielder's choice, lined into a double play, and singled to center field. Runner goes at first, and a pop-up as Bogart's backpedaling to the outfield grass. He'll make the catch that ends the top of the 8th inning. Tigers have a 5-1 lead. Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag NESN and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Pretty good pick right there. Well, it is 5-1. The Tigers have the lead over the Red Sox as we play on here to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Andrew Romine, who pitch ran for Castellanos last inning, takes over at third base. Alex Wilson back on the mound as he worked 2/3 of an inning in relief in the 7th. Back out there for the 8th. Blake Swihart leading it off in the bottom of the 8th inning. Work to do for the Red Sox, who trailed by 4 runs. Swihart tripled his last time up. Came around to score the lone Red Sox run of the day. Bullpens are busy. We saw Hardy in last night's game, and he is up again, the left-hander for Detroit. While Craig Breslow up for Boston. Fouled off himself and out towards the mound. Popped up. Foul off third as Romine heads over. He will not have a play into the seats. And of course, Alex Wilson, who's pitching the game right now, part of the Porcello Cespedes deal, going from the Red Sox to the Tigers December 11th, 2014. Last year appeared in 18 games with the Red Sox, 4 different stints with Boston up and down to Pawtucket. Swinging a foul tip, and Swihart strikes out for the first out of the 8th inning.
Well, elevating on purpose right there. You see the catch a call for the high fastball. That's exactly where Wilson puts it, and they get the foul tip into the glove. The pitch location excellent right there by Wilson to get the strikeout.
One down here in the 8th, and it brings up Mookie Betts. 1 for 3. RBI and a ground out in the 5th inning. His hit was a single back in the 1st inning as he takes strike 1. Parts of 2 seasons for Wilson with the Red Sox. 2013 he was 1-1 in 26 appearances, all out of the pen. Line to center. Rajai Davis makes the catch below the cap high for the 2nd out of the inning. I want to remind you to stay tuned following WB Mason Extra Innings Live, a Red Sox final presented by Uno's. TC and Steve Lyons will preview Eduardo Rodriguez's start tomorrow night against the Tigers in the finale of this 3-game series. And he'll be looking to bounce back after a tough start last time, inning in 2/3 against the Angels. 7 runs. Went through 36 pitches in that outing.
And tomorrow night's game, an ESPN game. So we'll be tuning in tomorrow at 8 o'clock tomorrow night to watch the finale of this series.
One 0 is in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Well, today has grounded out 3 times. Foul back, 1-2. The Red Sox finishing up with the Tigers tomorrow night, and then they welcome the White Sox to town for a 4-game series. Rays will be in over next weekend to wrap up the homestand. Off day, and then it is 3 with the Yankees, 3 with these Tigers. That'll wrap up the season series with Detroit, and then it is to Miami for 2. Off days on both sides, kind of unusual before the Red Sox return home to take on the Mariners. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and striking out is Brock Holt. It's a 1-2-3 eighth. It's on to the 9th, and it's 5-1 Tigers. Joseph Abboud available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Tim Wakefield preview Pedro Martinez's retirement ceremony. Now back at Fenway as the Tigers have a 5-1 lead over the Red Sox heading to the 9th inning, where Craig Breslow comes into the game into his 30th game of the year for Boston. 0-1 with a 3.86 earned run average, 25 strikeouts, 13 walks. Opponents hitting at 271 against Breslow. You will face 9-1-2 for the Tigers. Jose Iglesias, Rajai Davis, and Ian Kinsler scheduled to bat here in the 9th. Iglesias 1 for 3, a double in the 5th inning. Masterson did a good job in 2 innings, giving up only 1 hit. No runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter. Working in back-to-back games for the Red Sox last night and here this late afternoon, early evening game from Fenway Park. One and two.
Change up there by Breslow to get ahead in the count 1-2 to Iglesias, who's had a good day.
Action in the pen now for the Tigers. Neftali Feliz, a former Texas Ranger, and Joakim Soria, the former Kansas City Royal, both warming in the pen. 2-2. And a swing and a miss struck him out. Let's get a game break in Tom Caron, TC. All right, Tom, thanks very much. What a disaster that would have been.
Wow, how about that ending?
Wow.
Now, if that ball drops in, they've got to give the guy a hit, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Wow.
Oh, man.
One down for Rajai Davis. 0 for 4 in the ball game from the top spot in the Tigers' order. First time the Cubs have been no hit since 1965. Sandy Koufax with a perfect game. There's a ground ball down the line at third, a fair ball. It kicks off the box seats. Bogart's out to get it, and Davis got to throw the brakes on. He's got himself a 1-out single. Now, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 1 out, 1 on, and Ian Kinsler, the batter. He has struck out, fly to right, walked, and struck out again. Rajai Davis 14 out of 18 on the year. Here's a ground ball to short, could be 2. Bogart's the second for 1, on to first, it is 2. And that ends the top of the 9th inning. Red Sox trail by 4 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 9th. Nick Castellanos back in the 4th inning with a double for the triangle area on right center field. A ground rule double that would score 2. Victor Martinez, J.D. Martinez both scoring. And at the time with the Tigers on top 4-0. They lead it 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is Xander Bogaerts leading it off here. Changes for the Tigers. Anthony Gose taking over in center field for Rajai Davis. And the new pitcher, the closer, Joakim Soria, his 42nd game of the year, 3-1. 3.00 earned run average, 22 out of 25 in save opportunities. This is not a save opportunity, and it's a base hit for Xander Bogaerts. First hit of the day for Xander comes here in the 9th inning.
Well, certainly a very quiet afternoon for Red Sox hitters, but Bogaerts with the leadoff single here in the 9th inning, trying to make some type of comeback.
For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Fund. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. Make some noise here in the 9th inning. A leadoff single by Bogaerts. Here's David Ortiz. Takes a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Alex Wilson did a nice job going an inning in 2/3. No hits, no runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 2. David 2 for 4 in his career against Soria. Fouls it straight back, and it's a ball and a strike. Soria tied for 3rd in the American League in games finished with 33. And he is tied for 5th in the American League in saves with the 22 that he has coming in. And again, not a save situation today, entering the game with a 4-run lead. Snap throw to first, and back to the bag barely was Bogaerts. Nice try there by McCann.
Yeah, you know, in this situation, Don, I don't like it when guys take secondary leads for a number of reasons. First of all, this, you could get picked off. You're down by 4 runs in the ball game, so your run doesn't mean anything. And the other thing is, if you take a secondary lead, a line drive to an infielder could end up in being a double play. So I always felt that, you know, in these situations, just take your normal lead and stand there.
Ortiz today has doubled, walked, and grounded back to the mound. First full season with the Tigers after being acquired from Texas last year. As this is in the air, popped up right side, and it's Kinsler in short right, who intentionally lets that fall, but it'll be an out in right field. So 1 down.
Now, the reason Kinsler did that in case Ortiz wasn't running, and if he wasn't running, then they would have had maybe a double play. But Kinsler just lets it drop. As you can see right there, he knows he's going to get the force at second base. They exchange base runners. They get Speed off first. They get Ortiz on first.
So it is 4-6 on the force out at second base, and Ortiz at first with 1 out. There's Hanley Ramirez, who is 2 for 3 in the game. Foul back for strike 1. Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck. Swing and a foul tip, 0-2. Soria going to the Tigers July 23rd of 2014, shy of the trade deadline. .43 saves with Kansas City back in 2010. That pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-2. 43 saves of the Royals that year, 42 saves in 2008 with Kansas City. Most he ever had with the Rangers, only with Texas for a year and a half, was 17. Now in his third major league team and first full year with the Tigers. As one out with Ortiz at first, and a 1-2 pitch coming to Hanley Ramirez. In the dirt, and it is now 2-2.
Split-fingered fastball that time from Soria. Well blocked there by McCann, who has had a nice day behind the plate.
Outside, full count. Pablo Sandoval on deck, one out in the ninth inning. Tigers scored a run in the first, a run in the second, two in the fourth, and added a run in the sixth inning. Enjoy a 5-1 lead here with one out in the ninth. Line off Soria's leg. He stays with it, throws to first for the out of Ramirez as Ortiz takes second base, but a hot shot right off Soria.
Looks like he's okay. He's telling him to go back to the dugout, but a line shot by Ramirez. I think it's lower body or upper body. Tough to tell. Take another look from center field. I think I got it up toward the arm or toward the back.
It's higher than I thought.
May have got a piece of the glove on it.
So 2 down. Ortiz at second base, and here's Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval has grounded out to second base, walked, and grounded out to short. Ball and a strike. Big cut there on the fastball.
Soria throws that fastball about 92, 93 miles an hour, keeping it away from Sandoval.
Strike two, right at the bottom of the zone. 1-2. The 1-2 in the dirt, gathered by McCann again to his left. Two outs. Ortiz at second base. Red Sox trailing by 4 runs. Joakim Soria trying to wrap it up here for the Tigers. Trying to help Detroit put an end to their 2-game losing streak. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Monday at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Tim Wakefield to preview Joe Kelly's start against the White Sox. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Two and two, the count to Pablo Sandoval. On the ground, foul towards the end of the Red Sox dugout. Joe Kelly getting the start on Monday as the White Sox will be in town for the first of 4 games. Again, the 2-2 to Sandoval. On the ground to second base. Kinsler's got it. Throws out Sandoval, and the Tigers take game 2 of this 3-game series today. They scored early and hold on to win it 5-1 today against the Red Sox, and the Red Sox